Let's go across to Maya live. Well, Maya, 2023 seems a lifetime away at this point, really, when it's all about, well, now we know Monday is the deadline. And as you pointed out, the BJP currently still 6 MLAs short. But what's going to be happening over this weekend? Will the Speaker move first or Mr. Yeddyurappa, the new Chief Minister?
Well, certainly a very busy assembly session this is. I mean, we've had 3 swearings in since the assembly results came in last May. We had Yeddyurappa, then Kumaraswamy, then Yeddyurappa again. Right here at the Raj Bhavan where we are, where the swearing in of BS Yediyurappa for the 4th time took place less than 2 hours ago. So yes, Yediyurappa says he is 101% confident of getting those numbers. Does he mean that if the rebels do not attend the assembly on Monday, then the number in the House will be less? And 105 plus 1 of the BJP at 106 will be more than enough to be a majority with the reduced numbers in the House. The Speaker has also made it very clear he'll be deciding in a day or two about the status of those other MLAs. He's of course disqualified 3, but the status of the other MLAs will be decided. Will that make a difference? If their resignations are rejected, they are still technically part of the Congress and the JDS. If they're accepted, well, then they're free to go, they're free to actually join the BJP. However, if they are disqualified like the other 3, then they can't be promised posts in the BJP government as ministers. They will have to wait to seek re-election only after this 15th assembly of Karnataka is over. So not good news for those rebels. But Chief Minister Yediyurappa addressing a press meet just now, saying indeed that he would start to prove his majority on the floor of the House on Monday, waiving loans of up to 1 crore he's promised for weavers and continuing benefits for farmers, saying that he will not take vengeance on the previous government but will work positively.
So let's just go across, Maya, to the other guests I have with me tonight. Let's go across first to the constitutional expert, because I think that's really key. Because Mr. Sundaram, every authority we've seen in this, whether it was the previous Chief Minister, the current Chief Minister, the Speaker, all seem to have acted not with upholding really the Constitution, but with their own interests in mind. What is your take really on, one, the Speaker's authority defying in a sense, precedent by disqualifying those 3 MLAs, and then the BJP quickly changing their mind and going ahead with that swearing in?
Well, when you talk about each of them acting in their own interest, I don't think they are acting outside anything which we've come to accept now as a part of Indian politics. Let's not forget one thing. The primary aim of any political party is to get into political power. The manner in which they do it differs from country to country, from period of time to period of time, from era to era. But I think in India we're very clear that we have for many years now, we go back to the 80s and even earlier, the aim has been to somehow get to power, even if it involves horse trading. Don't forget that the 10th schedule was brought into the Constitution of India because of the horse trading which is going on, because of the corruption, because of the buying over of people which is going on, which is why the 10th schedule came in. So today it is a part of the whole thing. But the effect is today, let's just look at 3 scenarios and that's it. It's very simple. It's 3 scenarios. Either the rebels come to the House and vote with the party who elected them, which seems exceedingly unlikely, in which case, of course, Yediyurappa will lose the trust vote. What is more likely is that they will stay away from the House, in which case, in any event, the numbers in the House are reduced and Yediyurappa will win his trust vote. And of course, these MLAs then can stand, will have to be disqualified thereafter for not answering the whip and not coming to vote. The third scenario, of course, is that even before that, these MLAs are disqualified. And if they're disqualified, you again have a truncated House. You have a less of a House, in which case Yediyurappa again has the majority, and so he should get through. So whichever way you look at it, whether these rebels do not attend the House, or whether the rebels are disqualified before that, in either way, the government of Mr. Yediyurappa will stand. Either way it will, unless these rebels now come back into the fold.
No,
but what I want to tell you is of the greatest importance
I just want to suggest a 4th scenario, Mr. Sundaram.
I believe that the Speaker disqualifying 3 MLAs, can I just finish what I'm saying? The Speaker disqualifying the 3 MLAs at this juncture, in my view, was to give a very clear message to the others.
Exactly.
That look here, I have disqualified 3, your resignations are not going to be accepted, you're going to be disqualified, which means you cannot again come back into for the natural term of this present assembly. And therefore, with that, try to get them back into the fold.
Exactly. So I think that's the fourth scenario that's the fourth scenario which I actually talk about, because that is what accelerated the BJP, because the BJP yesterday was looking at actually waiting and seeing how things go, but it's what the speaker did, and it actually leads to a larger question. Is it time to relook the anti-defection law in totality? Because it's not just about Karnataka, as you pointed out, Mr. Ghosh, and if you can come in on this, the BJP is doing it today, the Congress can do it tomorrow, the JDS can do it, or any parties. The whole scale defection of MLAs from one party to the other. In Goa, it's happened. You had old-time BJP workers, Mr. Parakir's son himself, saying that this is not what Mr. Parakir would ever have approved of if he was alive today. What is the larger impact going out on not just the polity, but on the BJP ideology when you see, we'll call them rebels, but actually completely people who are switching over not for reasons of ideology, being rewarded with ministries? What does the BJP say to its workers who have waited for years and say, why not us?
Sonia, look, you have to see from a different perspective. One is of course, the ideology. From the day one, when when the election result was out, there was a clear mandate was given by the people of Karnataka as a single largest party of 105. And what happened after that? Just to stop the BJP to form the government, there was an unholy alliance between the JDS and Congress. Don't forget, these 15 rebel MLA was part of the JDS and Congress alliance, unholy alliance. Today, so none of the BJP MLA switched over or crossed the border. This is their internal fight, internal mismanagement, a radarless management, radarless political leaderships. Result is 15 rebels.
But Mr. Ghosh, in Madhya Pradesh, when two BJP MLAs support the Kamal Nath government, then is it also about the rudderless leadership? I mean, that's BJP, every state will have
today
a different argument.
BJP is ruling more than 17 states, and if you got 2 of so many thousands of MLAs we have got, 2 out of 1,000 doesn't make a law. But here in Karnataka, what is happening, from the day one BJP is telling that this is totally unholy, unethical alliance, and which is ultimately resulted to I mean, totally unstabilized government or destabilized government.
So
now, BJP is not been compromising with none of their ethics, none of their ideology. Today, we are standing 105. Whether the speaker disqualifies them or not, that is his constitutional
let me just bring Nasir Hussain on that point, because Nasir Hussain, the JDS has been tweeting very strongly saying horse trading. But the fact is that we also saw for 17 days the Chief Minister, Mr. Kumaraswamy, then hanging on to power at a time when it was clear that the majority was not with him anymore. So on what basis is the JDS saying horse trading when you all are also offering various incentives to get your MLAs back?
No, I don't think they are offering any incentives now. Yes, it is very much clear the day the coalition government came into existence, the Bharatiya Janata Party have been continuously making efforts to bring down the secular government of Karnataka. And this is the 7th attempt made by the Bharatiya Janata Party. I think they have been successful in horse trading and bringing back Bharatiya Janata Party to power. This is the entire episode of today's swearing ceremony has come overnight. Yesterday evening, there was the press conference held by the Honorable Speaker, wherein he has disqualified 3 MLAs. Until then, the entire picture looked like BJP is not going to take a call until the decision is made on the rebel MLAs. Now, today morning, they rush in, they will bring everything, and we have got a history. In Karnataka, we have seen Mr. Yeddyurappa as a Chief Minister in the previous...
no, but Mr. Hussain, the BJP did that because the Speaker disqualified 3 out of 15 MLAs. So the Speaker also was doing that in a sense. What was the reason just disqualifying 3 and waiting for the other MLAs?
The secular alliance in Karnataka, headed by Mr. Kumaraswamy, we feel that it is unfortunate that the vote of confidence was taken place even before the decision being made over the rebel MLA. This is the fact.
because it is still the constitutional crisis, the Supreme Court, the intervention of the Supreme Court, and they allowing the rebel MLAs to keep away, keeping the 10th schedule aside. This is a legal matter for constitutional
So,
order.
Mr. Ghosh, you wanted to quickly ask a question. Go ahead, Mr. Ghosh.
So, my question is that if these 3 MLA has been disqualified, why they were not disqualified during the 17 days circus was going on? Why he was not disqualified? When you see there is no chance of forming the government, you certainly change your strategy and try to disqualify them, and giving a strong message to 15 rebel MLAs that why it was not done on the first day whenever they have, why it was such a long drawn.
Let him answer, Mr. Ghosh.
The Honorable Speaker is not affiliated to any political party. It is the constitutional authority. He has taken a call. It is he who has to answer your question.
Why so late? Why not on the first day?
Let me just leave the final word with Mr. Sundaram, who is really more apolitical in this matter. Mr. Sundaram, should the anti-defection law be changed? Have we seen how it has become a travesty in state after state? As I said, right now it's the BJP, tomorrow it will be another political party. Does the anti-defection law need to be changed?
According to me, certainly yes. It must be changed, and it must be changed to ensure that defections like this which are made, and if it is found that the defections were made for any kind of incentives which are not purely ideological or otherwise, there should be a disqualification of 6 years, the same as any other disqualification. Right. To do so, of course, would be to amend the constitution, including the 10th schedule. But I think if that is not done, it's going to be a game, because people will just leave, get disqualified, and know that very soon they will be more than made up for by the party whom they've supported and who they've gone to. So I think today we're finding that the 10th schedule is not really playing the role it should be playing. Right. And I believe it should be amended to ensure that the disqualification here should be for a 6-year term also.
Mr. Sundaram, Mr. Ghosh, Mr. Hussain, thank you very much for joining me on the